What's going on, guys? Raid Designs here, and today I'm going to do a all exclusive walkthrough on how to do 3D manipulation banners and just manipulation banners in general. Yes, I know Ali has done some, and he does his way, and many other designers do theirs their own way. So I'm going to walk you guys through how to start, how to finish, and everything you possibly do. So if I don't get finished this tutorial, there will be another one. I just wanted to say also thank you so much for all the support on all the videos. But I hope this one actually really does help you guys. I'm sure there's other designers that have done this. The only one I've ever seen is Ali's. I don't remember the other ones. So you guys might, have to tell me. Of course, I'm not, it's a tutorial. Everyone does different things, and can't really copy a tutorial, shall I say. But everybody does it their own way, and this is the way I do it, and I just want to share share the knowledge, shall I say. So anyways, let's get right into it. So basically, if you want to do a 3D type banner, and I will show you guys real quick in my Photoshop what I'm kind of talking about. I just recently made one for Higher Envy, so let me just show his real quick. Excuse me, very tired. But here is the Higher Envy banner that I just recently did. Let me open it up. And here it is. It's basically a nice wallpaper that I basically put the Envy logo into this lighthouse-looking thing, and then I made it almost look like it's supposed to be there. And it's, I added some cool stuff to it, blurred it, made it stand out, and, I made it look like it was something that, is his. And it's really cool. But basically, I'm going to show you guys how to do that. Before we start, I am using a wallpaper from Thief, the video game. For learning purposes only, I want to use this one. Most of the time, I will use a royalty-free wallpaper just because I don't want, you're not really supposed to use other artists' stuff. You can, don't get me wrong, like on wallpaper sites most of the time, it's pretty, that's why they put them there as their wallpapers. You're supposed to use them, you're supposed to, do stuff to that, extent. And so for learning purposes right now, I will be using this, but if you guys can, try to use royalty-free. If not, please, make sure that you're not selling it, because that is not necessarily illegal, but it is a plagiarism, and that's not right. So just throwing that out there. But anyways, so the first thing you need to do is get a really, really nice wallpaper. So I have a wallpaper. Now, the first thing I also need to tell you is this Lightroom that I have, this setup, you can download it. I will put it in the description for 100 likes. So once there's 100 likes, I will get you guys this Lightroom and light setup. It's pretty basic. It comes with a plane. Of course, this plane is going to be for shadows, and it comes for 3 soft boxes that you are going to want to move around for lighting. Background, of course, for your actual background and your sky. And it will come with these materials. Pretty simple. You can just change the picture on this one, and you should be good to go. But I'm just going to delete those 2 materials. But yes, and they will come with that. All include, it's all on me. You guys can have it. But most of the time I do charge for this because it did take me a while to make. But you guys can have it. But anyways, yeah, we're going to start out, and basically most people like to use their logo. So for me, I'll use a logo. For me, let me use my logo. I think that would be this. I don't know, but it's going to show up somewhere else. I don't know where it is, but anyways, we're going to, of course, extrude NURBS everything. Where is it? This happens every once in a while. Here it is. Okay, and we're going to make this, of course, a lot thicker. We're going to make this bad boy good 500 depth caps. You're going to want to keep it all 100% huge caps. And this is basically what you are going to want to do. So, of course, you have your logo starting out. I have it rotated. And basically, for people that aren't 100%, familiar with Cinema 4D, of course, your plane right here is going to almost be like the backdrop. What's going to give it that shadow, what's going to give it that you know, that feel of almost like it is engraved into that, you know, area. And that is exactly what we're going for here. So, of course, I want to move this up here, and we're going to keep moving this back until, I mean, I'm going to probably have to move this back pretty far because I do have that plane set really far. I don't know why. All right. Yeah, see how it kind of goes through, as you guys can see right there? We're going to want to make the object a lot bigger, too. So we're going to make this pretty big. And almost, you know, we're almost going to make it to where it looks like it's, engraved. See, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure that, you know, using your different view angles. So this view angle is from the side. You guys can see right here that the plane is right here, and it's halfway through about. And what that's going to do is, and I'm just going to render this out for you guys real quick, just to show you a little bit of an example of what this does. Is when you click render, what it does is it adds the shadows, and it almost looks like it's engraved into this area, which is exactly what we're looking for. That is exactly perfect. Now, of course, you're going to want to make sure that it's set on the plane. Sometimes you're going to have to make the plane a little bit smaller, bigger. It really just depends on, you know, how you feel. Ooh, I don't want to do that. But, you know, just kind of, you know, use your eyes. I mean, that's basically what we do here. But anyways, so for the lighting, you are going to want to focus yourself on some of the shadows. You're going to want to make your shadows, you know, pretty prominent in the actual, you know, in the actual composition. I mean, you are going to want to make this pretty big. Now, here's another thing. A lot of people always ask me, hey, well, what type of materials do you use on your, you know, your logo? What I do is I just duplicate the background layer, and I just put it on top of it and add some reflections as well. And this is kind of what I come up with. Is it'll legitimately like put a clock in the middle of it, and I will go into Photoshop and I'll completely screw around with it. I'm gonna completely, you know, I'll change it completely, and that is exactly what I like to do. You know, it's just how I am. Because personally, I just want to make sure that my shadows are, you know, 100% prominent here. That should be a good. Yeah, that's all right. And this one we're gonna want to move over here. Certain areas, and you're gonna want to make sure that these light sources are perfect. And you know, one of the best ways that I always, you know, recommend is you know, basically, you know, zooming in. I might have to make there's certain things you might have to duplicate certain boxes, you might have to not, and this is a lot of trial and error as well. As you know, there's going to be a lot of trial and error here. If you don't like certain areas, if you don't, you know, want certain things, you're gonna have to do that. So, but yeah, I mean, like here, I'll even show you, like, to get, you know, to really make this a little bit bigger, you can add an outline onto it. So I added a R1 selection on this gray, and we're just going to hit OK. And what it's going to do is it's going to outline it in a gray, just to, you know, really show the, you know, show it a little bit more. I mean, you can, to be honest, I'd probably go with even a whiter, so like with. And this is a lot of trial and error. So the Cinema 4D is a lot of trial and error. It, you know, it may work, may not. Really just depends on what you like about it. Caps, another huge thing. So I usually add, I mean, my caps, I'm gonna make these 20 each. I know it's pretty big, but thinking about, you know, relatively how far back it is, you are going to want to beef everything up. That looks pretty good to me. The clock I'm going to completely take out. Like, you'll see what I'm going to do in Photoshop, but, you know, that's where I want the logo. So basically what you're, after this, is you're going to want to save this. Now, my settings are automatically, and I have a 1920 by 1080, but depending upon the actual composition size and the actual dimensions of the actual wallpaper you're using, you might have to switch it, so the width and height. So this one right now is 2400 by 1350, and it's automatically going to save into my like Photoshop stuff folder, which is what I have. And I mean, you can switch it, and also it might come with an alpha channel checked. You don't want that checked because you want to make sure everything renders, and the global illumination and all that stuff is going to be good. So what we're going to do is just going to let this render real quick, and it shouldn't take long. I mean, the only thing it really needs to render is the plane and the actual object itself. And let me just have this render. Man, this is going to be a long tutorial. I might have to do this in two, just because Photoshop is really where you start to get more in depth with everything. So, all right. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up our whatever we saved, and we are going to rate it. I think I named it like rated with a bunch of D's. Yep, here we go. And here it is. So we have our. We're going to zoom in 100%, and we have our composition now. You know, we're going to make, you know, duplicate, you know, we don't have to duplicate the layers or anything, just make new layers, and this is what we're going to do. Biggest thing here is, you know, Photoshop, your Cinema 4D only can show so much of a shadow. Can't show too much, but right now what we're actually going to do is I am going to select the inside of the white that you guys see, because I want to keep it pretty pretty prominent to this gray that it is, and I don't want to change this up too much. Just going to take the clock out. There's many ways you can do this, and I'm going to show you one of the best ways to do this, and this is a skill that you're going to need to learn. If you are going into design school, this is very simple just for photo editing. So right here, what we have here is, most people would just be like, oh, let's just, you know, blur it out, or let's change the color of this. No, there's an easier way to do that. I'm going to show you right now how to do it. Now, here's your clone tool. When you're a photo manipulator, or just period, if you're getting into it, it's your best friend. Make sure it is your best friend. You're going to want to change the pixels. I mean, yours should start out like 25. I have mine up. But what you do is you hold Alt towards an area. So here. And make sure you're on the background layer. Oh, I might have to unlock it, yeah. And you hold Alt. Basically what that does is it takes that piece that you just clicked Alt on, and it copies it. And basically what you do is you're going to keep, you know, selecting Alt and just, you know, kind of do certain things like, you know, take this top area, and we're gonna just, I mean, here we can do pretty much anything we want. I mean, it's trial and error, like I said. You're gonna want to take certain areas, and you're gonna want to just cover the clock area, and it's pretty simple. I mean, it's not 100% accurate at all times. Personally, I use it all the time, and it works wonders, just because, you know, it works. But you know, so right here, of course, I covered the whole clock right there, and then cover more of it there, and it's gonna be very subtle. You don't need to make this like look perfect, because there's gonna be a lot of effects added onto this. So you know, just do your best. And it's a learning process. You're not going to get it right away. Every time you click Alt to a new area, it's going to basically cover that whole area, and it's basically, as you can see, I'm basically slowly taking down the clock area. And that, I mean, if we deselect it and you zoom out, it looks a lot better. I mean, it looks like it's supposed to be there, and it looks awesome, in my opinion. And that's basically what it is. And you can merge that down because you're probably not going to fuck with that much. Excuse my French, but anyways, we're going to add more shadows. So create new layers. You're going to create one layer, and this is all pen tooling here, boys and girls. We're going to add, you know, shadow here, because there will be a shadow here. And you just want to fill with black. Shadows are most of the time primarily black. I mean, it's from my from my experience, most of the time they are black. And you're going to want to make a pretty soft, smaller brush. Erase what you need, of course, and we're just going to keep that down there. Actually, we're going to buff that up because I really want that to pop. But here, we're going to add another shadow, and you just keep creating new layers and doing this, and this is the easiest way to do it. You could just do it manually, like, you know, brush by brush. And this is just, you know, basic manipulation tips right here, guys, is just make sure your shadows and your lights are perfect. There's a lot of clicking, of course. And this is, of course, going to be something that, you know, I actually might use because I'm using my logo. But, yeah, as you guys can see, you're just going to want to do something pretty cool. And that's about pretty much what I want now. Let's zoom out, see what happens. Yep, looks a lot better. See, it seems like, you know, the art is there. It's prominent. It's what, you know, it's popping out, and that's what you want. And that's basically where we're going to stop today. Is we're going to stop at this point, and I'm going to basically tell you 200 likes, and I'm going to upload the next. I will put up the next tutorial. So, if you can do me a huge favor, basically just like and comment on this video if it's helping. If not, you know, just kind of, you know, give me some tips on what I can do better. And if you have any questions, of course, don't be afraid to tweet at me. Don't be afraid to, you know, ask away in the comments. I'll be sure to try to respond to everybody. But yeah, pretty simple on what you have to do so far, but we're going to get into the cool stuff after, cool effects. So I'm ready, and of course, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and like this video, guys. So thanks.